Let's sit down for a minute and chat about something that might seem a little counterintuitive. You know how businesses often have a strategy dedicated to keeping an eye on what the competition is up to? It's a bit like being at a high school dance, always glancing sideways to see what moves others are pulling on the floor. But have you ever wondered what happens when you just stop monitoring your competitors? It might sound a bit risky, right? Let's unpack this together. Picture this. You're running a business and things are trucking along nicely. You've got your loyal customers, sales are steady, and your product seems to be hitting just the right notes. You decide to take a little breather from competitor surveillance. Maybe it's intentional, or perhaps it just happens because your team is swamped with other tasks. Initially, it might feel liberating not to constantly peek over the fence to see what the neighbors are doing. But things can get a little dicey pretty quickly. First off, one of the significant risks is missing out on market trends and shifts. Competitors can be an early indicator of changing consumer preferences. Let's say they suddenly pivot towards an eco-friendly product line while you're still completely focused on conventional products. By the time you notice the market's leaning green, they may have captured a significant share of environmentally conscious consumers. Monitoring competitors essentially gives you a sneak peek at the future, as they might test waters that you haven't thought of dipping your toes into yet. Then there's the complacency factor. Without the push and pull of competition, it's easy to become complacent and stick to the status quo. Why innovate if everything is working just fine? Well, because your competition might be out there ideating the next big thing. Remember companies like Kodak? They rested on their laurels while the world moved on to digital photography. By neglecting what others were doing, they lost their grip, and once you're trying to play catch-up, it's often too late. Ignoring competitors can also blindside you in terms of pricing strategies. Imagine they lower their prices or start offering added value while you maintain your standard pricing scheme. Consumers are savvy. They'll notice when they're getting more bang for their buck elsewhere, and suddenly, your once loyal customers might just start looking elsewhere. Furthermore, not benchmarking against competitors could mean missing out on innovation in customer experience or service quality, a realm where today's consumers are incredibly fickle and demanding. Without competitor insights, businesses might lose strategic direction. Peering into competitor strategies not only helps in defining your unique selling propositions, but also highlights gaps in the market, unmet needs that you can capitalize on. It's like sailing without a compass. You might think you're on course until you hit an iceberg that competitor awareness could have helped you navigate around. Now, I'm not saying you need to be completely obsessed with what others on the block are doing. There's something to be said for sticking to your vision and innovating autonomously. Too much focus on competitors can lead to imitation rather than innovation. The key is balance, keeping an ear to the ground without letting competitive analysis dictate your every move. Allocate some resources to regular competitor reviews and align your insights with consumer feedback and market data. This way, you're not just reacting to competitor moves, but anticipating the market's evolution as well. In the bustling dance of business, keeping an eye on your competitors isn't just about mimicking their moves. It's about understanding the rhythm of the industry and making sure you're not dancing alone while everyone else joins a different party. So, take a breather, peek over the fence once in a while, and always leave room for innovation and company values to guide the steps you take. After all, in business as in life, it's always best to keep your eyes on both the competition and the wider horizon.